I just can't tell you how nice it's been to have a piece of software that just works for you.
And you've been running MachineLink about 10 years.
Yep.
Okay. And you're communicating with a pedal. I know.
Alan Bradley control,
And Alan Bradley.
93 control, and a Harding Super Slant turning center.
Okay. So you have MachineLink configured to be able to communicate with all of those machines, no troubles.
Yep.
Okay. Now this particular pedal, you're sending you typically drip feed over to it, and you use the send loop feature. So
Right.
from out here, then you just hit cycle start again. You recut the part, and so forth. You ever had any problems with that?
Never have.
All right, that's a good thing.
I just can't tell you how nice it's been to have a piece of software that just works for you, and you don't get into a whole lot of cluster of things. You know, so much software has so much put into it that, and it's not written from a machinist perspective. I think it's written from a perspective of a software guy who wants to throw everything you can possibly have, all these functions and all the stuff that you can possibly do, and overcomplicates the whole situation.
You know, the whole goal with MachineLink has always been to keep people focused on cutting chips. The idea is not to have a guy having to go in, do extensive training. How do I work this software? How do I get communication set up? How do I load a program? How do I receive? You know, typically everything a guy needs is staring him right there in the face.
Right.
Okay? We, though, want to keep you out here focused on cutting metal, throwing chips. That's when you're making money.
That's right. When that machine's sitting there idle, it doesn't do a thing for you. The thing is, any software that you're messing with, if you don't do it every day, it becomes sort of blurry.
Yeah.
And then you got people rethinking, you got people making mistakes, you got people crashing tools.
Yeah.
You got all the different stuff that can come into play if you don't do that every day, or if that particular guy doesn't do it every day.
Right.
But I'll tell you, the software, as far as from a DNC perspective, it's just, I mean, you don't have to go back and try and relearn it, even if you've been off of it for a long time. You can just jump back into it.
Now, one of the things that is unique about your setup is your CAD or your CAM package is set up to automatically call MachineLink up. So when you post a job and you create a report, it passes the CNC file directly to MachineLink. It loads right up in front of you, and then you're basically ready to hit the send button. A lot of people don't realize that MachineLink supports that, and that it can be called from other programs, can actually be integrated into lots of different CAD CAM packages. So once you're up and running here, focus is now on making parts, making money.